Coming up on today's edition of the Art Marketing Podcast, more art is sold in Q4 than all year. Season is coming. Let's start getting ready now. So a few days a week, I like to get up early and work out. Well, generally, actually, always like getting up early. But usually I don't need an alarm clock. My internal clock I found is usually pretty good. And, assuming the previous evening's beer count is of a reasonable number, I can get up without the alarm. And this morning, I almost missed my workout. Why? Because it was still dark outside and I thought I had more time. So that tells me summer is winding down. Normally that is a bummer. Yes, not for me. It means the English Premier League is about to start. And most importantly, it means Q4 is on the way. So your primary goal from now till Q4, till Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all of the craziness of the holiday sales season is twofold. One, you got to get your digital house in order, which we're going to delve into shortly. And two is to realize from now till then, 55 days to go at this point, till the start of Q4, your goal is to be the top of the mind of your buyers and potential buyers. You want to be in front of their eyeballs. You want to be aware, or you want to be noticed. You want to have their attention, and you need to start planting those seeds now. So when the buying frenzy starts, you're completely in the game. Now let's talk about the state of the nation. This show is not about politics, nor do I ever want it to be, so nothing political here, but the economic data right now, by most objective reads, is really good. Consumer purchases are way up and looking strong. So this year portends to be, I think, a really, really solid holiday sales period. And I think it's going to be way higher than previous years. So things are looking really good in that department. And if ever there was a time to get after it, the time's now. Now, the good news here, I've been running fourth quarter sales for pretty much my whole marketing career / life. And I've run them specifically for selling art and photography online for the last 10 years or so across 2 different companies. And I've seen what the results look like when you're just getting started. I've seen the results when people are picking up steam. I've seen the results when folks are on fire. In all cases, the results, I know, no big surprise here, they're really based on what you put in. The steps you take ahead of time, getting your digital house in order, being top of mind, the reps and sets, you do those. No matter what stage of the game you are, you can get great results. And moreover, Q4 comes around every year, turns out. Once a year. You do the work, you get better. The knowledge you gain and properly executing these sales will really, form the basis of momentum. That you can just move into your next sale and your next sale and your next. All you have to do is get in the game. Follow our playbook. We have a fantastic one, and run it. You do the work. It's not any more difficult than that. It's really just not. So if we do the work, we win. Let's do the work. And, we're going to make sure that you're focused on the right things and running the right playbook that we know gets results. And literally 90% of this is just showing up. It's being ahead of time, like we are now, 55 days to go until Q4 starts as of recording, and just not starting too late. You need to start thinking about all of this now, which is why we're recording this podcast now. Lastly, I know running sales can be overwhelming. You're not the most techie person out there. Totally get it. Let me just assuage you of this anguish, okay? Do not let the prospect of all the tech stuff scare you. Nobody's saying you have to do it all right out of the gates. You got to crawl before you walk before you run, right? What you can't do is start running if you've never crawled before. You tackle what you can. You use the resources you have. You do the best you can. You get better. You get one step closer to achieving the sales volume of your art or photography that you set out as a goal for you. It's incremental steps all along the way. And we're playing the long game here. You're going to be an artist or a photographer selling your work, presumably for the rest of your lives. So let's maintain the perspective on what that time horizon looks like and start stacking these small wins, getting better and better and better at executing sales. So really, I want to encourage you, first and foremost, you can absolutely do this, and we're going to help you. More good news here. As humans, we set goals, we attempt to achieve them, right? I find that getting fired up about Q4 and starting to put things into motion will help you become a better marketer and better at marketing your business. The action and steps you take here, it creates a residue that breeds momentum and success. So, I think it's just a fantastic time to start thinking about Q4 and getting the house in order. So let's start out with step one. if you're going to take advantage of Q4, the biggest holiday selling quarter of the year, you're going to have to be able to sell your art online, digitally speaking at least. So longtime listeners here of this podcast will know I've never used this podcast as a hardcore sales pitch, never been pushy about hawking our product. Quite frankly, I don't care where you host your site. The important part is that you have your art up on a website that shows it off and that can take credit card orders. You need that to get in the game. That's sort of the basic uniform you need to get on the field. And this podcast is a labor of love to sort of share the unique knowledge we have in selling art and photography online and giving it all away for free. It's an easy thing to do because sadly, most folks won't put it all into practice and things change pretty quickly. So we don't have any problem giving away our best tips and tricks. That being said, and keeping in mind, there is still plenty of time to get ahead of Q4. If you are ever interested in what Art Storefronts offers and how we can potentially help you sell more of your art online, now's the time. All you have to do is visit our website, artstorefronts.com, or you can just Google it and find one of the requested demo buttons. When you do that, what happens? One of our helpful sales folks will set up a 10 to 15 minute call. Not only will you get all of your questions answered, yes, pricing, fees, setup time, features, all of that, whatever questions you might have, but you're also going to get some great feedback on your art, your setup, and what we believe you're doing right, and potentially some areas that you need to focus on. Our sales staff speak to literally hundreds of artists and photographers a month and have been for years. And so they're super knowledgeable about the industry, its problems, its opportunities, what's working, what's not. So don't be afraid to pepper these folks with questions you have and ask for advice too. And I'm confident that regardless if you come aboard or not, you're going to leave that call in a way better place than when you started it. If you do end up signing up ahead of Q4, let them know you did that as a result of listening to this podcast. And they're even going to offer you a special podcast only deal for you loyal listeners as a result. So sales pitch done. Let's get back to Q4. And as I said, as of the time recording this, 55 days out until the start of Q4, until October 1st. And so what should we be doing in these next 55 days to ensure that you're going to have the best Q4 ever? Let's sort of, the idea is let's just sort of get a basic list going of what I would be focusing on, what I think you should be focusing on ahead of the holiday buying season. It's a list of items that you need to go over, that you need to just put in your brain and start marinating on and just have that little voice on your shoulder to start worrying about. And I think this is a list people often omit till it's too late. So let me get rapid fire on some housekeeping items, and then we can get into the attention piece, the twofold that I mentioned at the top. And, some of these items, of course, we'll need to cover in greater detail in future episodes, which we will do in the run up to Q4. And so I've got a list, sort of digital housekeeping stuff first that a lot of people gloss over, miss, or don't think through. And then, like I said, we'll get into the attention piece. And so let's just start at the top, no particular order. Number one, the website, we sort of got that covered, right? But if you want to sell art online, you're going to need one. If you don't have one, now is the time to get on it. However you want to go about doing that. Number two, let's stay on the website. If you do have a website, this goes for you whether it's enabled for e-commerce or not. So it doesn't matter if it's a blog or it's an e-commerce site. Do you have Google Analytics set up yet? If that's a no, then you need to get on it right away. If you want to be successful selling online, you have to have access to the data. Your website will generate a tremendous amount of it for you. Google Analytics is completely free and easy to install. So if you don't have it, now is the time. Don't wait. Google an article if needs be, but get it installed, get it up and running, and start gathering some initial data on what sort of website traffic you do have. Number three, and this is for you, exclusively for you guys that do have e-commerce websites, like the ones we provided Art Storefronts. In short, website with a shopping cart. When I say e-commerce, it's a website with a shopping cart that can take orders. That's succinctly summarized. Now, if you already have Google Analytics set up, have you enabled e-commerce tracking? This is often an omitted step that is so important. And what it allows you to do is you go into Google Analytics and you just flip this little switch that will essentially take the sales data from your store and pipe it back into Google Analytics. And it lets you answer all sorts of very interesting questions. How much traffic did Facebook send? Okay. How many orders did Facebook generate? What was the total dollar amount of those orders? How do I now compare that to my organic traffic, to my direct traffic, to my email list traffic, to my Instagram? It's incredibly important. I mean, this is literally how you figure out what marketing efforts are working, which ones you should stop, and which ones you should go all in on. And so you need the data, and many people gloss over this step. So if you haven't, this is a great Google, how do I turn on e-commerce tracking? You'll get an article, go in, turn it on. That's number 3. Number 4, Facebook and Instagram ads. Do you have a Facebook ads account? Do you? If not, now is the time to start one. Why? Because when you do, Facebook gives you what they call a tracking pixel. Tracking pixel is a fancy way to say it's a line of code. You place the line of code on your website and it records information about your website visitors. Specifically, if they came to your website, you can essentially place these folks onto a list, which is called an audience, and show them ads after the fact. It's what we call warm traffic, right? Quick distinction. Cold traffic, these are people that have never met you, just like an introduction. They've never met you. They don't know who you are. Because they've come to your website, they're warm traffic. They know who you are. This is very important. And warm traffic can be coming to your website. You can create audiences that have interacted with your Facebook page. You can create audiences that have watched videos or liked or commented. You can create videos of people that have clicked through to your Instagram profile. All of those are warm audiences. To which you retort, okay, Patrick, that's great. That's great. I'm not really thinking about ads yet. I've got plenty of time between now and then. So I'm just going to get to that step when I get there. I don't have any plans to run ads right now. No. What the pixel allows you to do is track website visitors backwards up to 180 days ago. So you install that now. All of the people that visit your website from now all the way up to Black Friday, let's say, you can put in an audience and show ads to. So to interacted with your Instagram profile. So to interacted with your Facebook page. You're not going to be able to do any of that if you don't have the pixel installed. So even if you have no plans or you're just not even contemplating ads yet, this is sort of like having an earthquake supplies kit, right? Like I live in California, we're always scared of the big one here. You have an earthquake supplies kit. Even if I don't ever want to use it, I don't have any plans of using it. I certainly don't want to use it, but I've got it. And it gives me the peace of mind to know that as I move into Q4, if things start improving for me, if I do decide to do ads, I'm not going to just be starting from scratch, which is very, very difficult. I'm going to have this historical data and I can do all of that for free. So pretty please start an ads account, get the pixel set up. Facebook and Instagram, as of right now, have all the attention. It's the number one place to go to run ads, and that's not going to change anytime soon. So if you're going to be paying to get attention, which I hope many of you are, it's the best place to go. So we have some resources on how to go about this that I'm going to include in the show notes. There'll be a number of different links. Don't worry, just come to the site, go to the show notes, and you can read those posts. Okay, that was number 4. Number 5, it's time to think about what advantages you do have that are specific to you. And I think this is just sort of a thought exercise, a little bit of marination you do to start getting your ducks in order. It's just a great place to start. Perhaps you have a large email list, or you have a large Instagram following, or a good sized Facebook list in Messenger, or Facebook fans, or you're good at Facebook ads, or you have a large mailing list. Really, it can be anything. And in my experience, it can vary pretty wildly from artist to artist and photographer to photographer. You guys all have these unique things that are unique to you in your own circumstances. And I find it helpful to sort of list it out. It's not going to take you a long time. And then what that's going to do is it's going to force you to start thinking through, okay, this is where I'm strong. If I'm strong here, this is probably where I need to focus all my energy. What does that look like? If you've got a bunch of Instagram followers, okay, then you're going to need to think through your posting strategy and your Instagram story strategy. And it helps if you think through that and you're like, okay, this is where I'm going to focus my energy. I'm obviously going to have to up my game here. Let's see what that looks like. So good little thought exercise. I love doing that. Anytime I help a customer with the sale, I'll always go in and sort of audit what they have, talk through with them. Okay, well, what advantages do you have? And oftentimes things surface that are so, just completely out of right or left field that I wouldn't have found out otherwise if I didn't ask. And all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, you've got what? You've got what? I mean, most recently it was this particular person had, give you an example. This particular person had an Instagram account with a massive, massive amount of followers that would pretty much share his work on demand. And they did during the sale. And the sale increased by like 70, 80% of what it would have been otherwise. I mean, it was insane. And so I wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have asked. And so I asked. And so you got to think about what these things are that are unique to you. And it can be anything, online, offline, whatever it is, whatever momentum, whatever help you got. You got a brother that works at a radio station. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is. Think about it so we can start thinking about how to leverage it. Okay. That was number 5, I believe. What's my list here? Number 6. It starts with that thought exercise and then it moves directly to your email list. Okay. It is the single solitary most important driver in e-commerce sales to this day. And I don't think this is going to change anytime soon either. The stats vary, but 30% is a commonly cited stat. 30% of e-commerce sales are driven by email. And again, that can vary wildly, but regardless of what the stats say, the email list is just so important. So what shape is yours in? Is it organized? Do you have all of the emails you have in your arsenal gathered together and ideally uploaded to your email service provider, MailChimp or Drip or ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit or whoever you use? If not, it's time to start getting on this housekeeping. If you've got receipts in shoe boxes, or you've got a bunch of email contacts in your Gmail and that are not on your ESP, not on your email service provider list, it's time to start getting your house in order. Everybody buys art. You stand a way better chance of selling it to people you already know. Yes, even if they're contacts from other walks of life. So get your email list in shape and ready to roll. Just get it out of the way. Tick this box. Now, let's shift from the digital housekeeping piece to getting attention. Waiting till the last minute is just never a good idea. You need to start thinking now about how you can get your art, your brand in front of your buyers and potential buyers, in front of their eyeballs, starting right away and leading all the way to Q4. You're sort of intentionally planting seeds now. You're going to water the seeds, and then they're going to be ready by harvest time, by the time the buying season begins, right? Let's move to number 7. And it's sort of a hack, and I find it to be a very helpful hack. And this is just a general one. But what kind of calendar person are you? Perhaps you're all digital. You got a Google Calendar, your Mac Calendar, whatever you have, or you're the printed out paper type, old school, I love it, or a good old fashioned hanging type, and you're really old school with pictures on it, or it's all on your iPhone, or you carry some sort of leather bound calendar book like my wife does. My wife loves those things. You can start by placing some reminders over the next 55 and call it like 112 days to Black Friday on how many days you have left until the big holiday selling season. You could just every Monday update it with 55 days, 47 days, 40 days, whatever the countdown is. I'm terrible at math. But it's good to just have a constant little needling, just a little poke. Guess what? It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Because I find that that's a pretty effective way, a pretty effective hack at just keeping you motivated and focused. This big season is coming. You cannot leave things up to the last minute. So I find that that's really, really helpful. And you're gonna see, if you come to the Art Storefront site, we're putting countdown timers everywhere because we realize how important it is. Like if we can motivate, focus, fire up our customer base and keep them focused on the fact that this big holiday art selling season is coming and you've got to get ready now, it's going to be a huge win for all of our customers. And so you're going to see countdown timers everywhere. So that's a good little hack. I think it's a great little hack. Number 8, between now and then, there is still time to build your email list. So think about all the ways you can do that. Yes, I'm partial to print giveaways with Messenger. I find them to be fantastic. Yes, I'm partial to contests in general. Yes, I love adding email capture to your site via pop-ups. Yes, I love running the fishbowl at art fairs and shows. We have the episodes for you, the good news, on just about all of above. And I'm going to include those in the show notes, how you can go about those, what those techniques look like. But every email on your list has a huge potential to be able to grow your sales over the holidays. It is such an important source of traffic. So, you do what works for you, but from now till then, from now until we're in Q4, always be thinking about the ways you continue to grow your email list, and really always be thinking, period, about how you can grow your email list. Number 9, if you want to grow your business, at a point, you're going to need to invest in it. Starting on Facebook ads right now, especially if you've not already, it's a wise move. It takes time to figure out how it all works, to understand targeting and options and be able to analyze the data and try and figure out what's working. Moreover, the more data Facebook has, the better. It just performs better. And, it's why we covered that pixel, why it needs to get installed, so you have some historical data to work on. And, if you've not started already, then start. You can get your feet wet for as little $10 a day, $5 a day, and get some action. And you're going to take some licks. You're going to light some money on fire, sure, but you're going to learn, and you're going to become more comfortable with the process. You're going to get better at it. But they've got all the attention. It's not changing. That's where you need to go to get your art in front of new eyeballs, the cheapest, easiest, quickest way if you've got the budget for it. So it's a good idea to start now, budget a couple $100, spread it out over the time between now and the fourth quarter. And then when it's actually the fourth quarter, you're really going to be ready to dive into it if you haven't started already. Number 10, and this is, obvious, pick up the pace. Pick up the pace, period. Sounds simple because it is. If you've never emailed, then now's the time to start emailing. Send 1 email a month till Black Friday. Black Friday. You can do that. Increase the frequency if you're already there. If you already send it once a month, send 2 a month. If you're posting on Instagram regularly, but you're not doing Instagram stories yet, now is the time to start. There's a learning curve there. And those stories can drive an insane amount of traffic. If you're active on Instagram, but not on Facebook, it's time to give Facebook some attention and some love. It remains an incredibly important platform, regardless of how you feel about it. I certainly don't like it. If you thought about starting in on Facebook Messenger, then let's get at it. The time to start is right now. The point here is all of these marketing platforms, they take some time and effort to get spun up and moving. They all have nuances you need to learn. If you set yourself to the task and you get at it now, it's going to be so much easier when you get to Q4. Moreover, do not be that guy or gal that doesn't do any of this work, gets to Q4, gets whipped up into a frenzy, realizes that they need to run a sale. Everyone else is doing it. It's a big time. And then have the first time that you've reached out to your audience in months, in weeks, in days, whatever the case may be, you whack them across the face with a sale and some percentage off. That just never goes over well. It just does not go over well, ever. All right. Number 11, practice. And I've got this Persian buddy, right? And the part of Iran he's from is called Mashhad. And so they're Mashhadi people. And this is a highly tribal bunch. I think probably always has been. They still are. They all hang out together. I think he was like 575 people at his wedding. It was insane, right? And in his community, it's very clear what happens. This is the tribal way, right? It's always a push to get married. Then what happens afterwards? You get it, right? You get married. That refrain goes until you summit that mountain. The minute it's done, it's like, when are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids, right? And, they always joke, do you have any kids yet? No. Then you're practicing. And it's sort of like a oftentimes used saying / tawdry joke to them, right? Like the takeaway applies though. If you want to have kids, then you practice. They always say it like with a smile on that phrase. So you're practicing. Very good. So it applies. The same goes for sales. You want to learn how to execute a great sale? Then practice with one. Sort out a date, an event, a something, anything, your birthday, Halloween. There's plenty of opportunities, plenty of ways to go about it between now and Q4. And practice. Run a sale. It doesn't matter if you fall flat on your face and don't sell anything. You're going to learn a tremendous amount. You're going to get comfortable with sending the email. You're going to get comfortable with sending to unopens, with increasing your posting frequency, and everything that goes along with executing a proper sale. The practice will be amazing. There's a lot of moving pieces here, right? So practice. And also too, what doesn't get mentioned is you go through all that and you've got these various channels, these various different marketing efforts. You've got your email list and you've got Facebook and you've got Instagram, you've got Instagram stories, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, whatever you have available to you. You're going to get some data after you run that sale. And you're going to be able to look at that data, and we're going to get into this in future episodes, and you're going to say, hey, turns out this Facebook traffic was the most engaged, had the most add to carts, they stayed on the site the longest, they're bouncing frequently, all of these various different metrics that Google Analytics will give you, and you can say, you know what? Turns out I should probably be focusing on Facebook for the next sale. So even if you don't sell anything, it's a really, really worthwhile exercise, and you don't want to have it be your first time out right when it's the biggest sale time of the year. You want to have a couple of these under your belt. So that's number 11. Number 12, AOV. I love AOV. Only 3 ways to grow a business, right? First time customers, get more of them. You can get your current customers to spend more, which is where the AOV comes from, average order value, or you can get repeat business from those customers. AOV is a fantastic and often overlooked one to focus on, right? You can raise your prices right now. Do it. Raise your prices right now. Number 1, it's going to make things easier to discount later. Number 2, it's going to increase your average order value, right? Because the prices are higher. Not selling prints now? Then do it. Think about putting together a limited edition set. To do it, do it. Have it in time, ready for Q4, limited edition. It's like, what about buy one, get one free, or adding an option to get a calendar for an additional $20? Like, all of these are plays to increase your AOV. Best way to think about this one, and a number of retail stores do this now, but when you're in a retail store and, they usually have like a decent sized line. I'm thinking about my local electronics one, for instance. And so, big box store kind of a thing. And you're snaking through the line, and what are you in? They've got you snaking through these little aisles of knickknacks, right? Like sodas and nuts and candy and stupid cell phone chargers and little toys for the kids. Why? To increase the average order value of your purchase. And it's insanely effective. How many of us have bought some, I'm actually kind of hungry. Oh, that candy looks pretty good. I'm going to get a water, whatever it might. I did need another charging cable, right? Like, instead of a $20 order, all of a sudden you've got a $34 order, a $36 order, a $40 order, a $50 order, whatever it might be. So those are great ways to increase your AOV. All great things to be thinking about. Most importantly, though, think big. Think big. If you've got a few special pieces, let's say they're originals, or if you want to get into the limited editions, contemplate pricing them outrageously. Do a limited edition of 4 hand-signed prints. There'll never be any more, and price them 10x what you normally charge. You never know. Everyone's follower count, audience, attention is a bell curve. You've got some folks that are following you that are interested in your art that don't have any money. Then the bell curve swings up into the middle, and everybody in the middle sort of has some money, but they're going through life financially like everyone else, and it's strapped and everything else. But guess what? On that very bottom end of that bell curve, you actually have people that have a lot of money that don't think about money potentially the way that you do. A $300 purchase to us is a 2-cent purchase to them, right? And so sometimes when you take a shot, you at least put a line in the water, and you have something on your site for $5 or $10 or $15 or $20,000, or you have limited edition prints that are $2,200 a piece, let's just say, when you normally sell them for $220 a normal print, whatever the numbers might be. You put that line in the water and you give it a shot. So you start thinking about that, like, what could I do? Oh, maybe I do have something I could really price outrageously. If you ask, you're actually in the game. You never know. You might have someone that's higher net worth that says, $200 prints. Come on. I mean, I graduated out of that a long time ago. Have you seen my Mercedes? They want to buy something that has a little prestige to it, right? That costs them money, that makes them feel good, that gives them a little dopamine hit when they pull the trigger. So get that in there. And let me tell you, what's it going to do for your AOV? Oh yeah, it's going to crank it way up. So contemplate AOV. That was number 12. 13. For the more marketing sophisticated you in the bunch, there's nothing quite like the ROI you can achieve when you're going to have a thing, i.e. a Black Friday sale, and right before you have the thing, you have another thing to really whip up the attention. Let me give you an example. Pretty sure I used this in a previous podcast episode. I need to work on it, but I'm going to stick with this. I don't have another one. Let's just say you own a club. Going back to my college days here. Let's say the club closes down at 2 a.m., right? You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So what happens next? A whole bunch of really drunk kids at 2 a.m. spill out into the parking lot, and a lot are now hungry. They're starving. So what can you do? What are you going to do, right? You could do nothing, and they would all jump into their Ubers and hit Del Taco or whatever else on the way home. Or a great strategy here would be to own the burrito stand and set it up in the parking lot. The minute they come out, you're now selling a whole bunch of California burritos. It's basically a carne asada burrito with French fries for the uninitiated, to those folks. And I use that as an analogy, and I think I actually need a better one. But the point of it is, it's brilliant when it comes to marketing. Let's put it in marketing terms. Let's say you have a print giveaway contest, okay, using Messenger. That's the club, and it ends the week ahead of Black Friday because you've timed it that way. So you go from this big print contest where everyone was opting in to win a print, at the very end of which you're now selling them burritos in the parking lot. You've now launched your Black Friday sale. And so it's that 1-2 punch where you whipped up this frenzy of attention. And instead of not having anything behind it, of not having the burrito stand in the parking lot, you've thought it through. You've timed this thing. You've got a burrito stand in the parking lot. And, any example works here, right? Like it could be you're having an offline show and you just hype that baby up and launch it right into your Black Friday sale. If you're a photographer, you're going to do some sort of special Halloween shoot on the cheap for the kiddos. Like Jessica that I used in my last example or a couple episodes again, and then boom, you launch that right into a big sale. The idea is just getting attention is so hard. So if you can figure out a way to whip that up into a frenzy, and believe me, I love the print giveaway contest. It's a fantastic way. You've got a bunch of engaged, switched on people. You just move them right into your Black Friday sale or your Cyber Monday sale or your Halloween sale, however you're going to do it. So I think that's a fantastic thing to be thinking about. It's something that most people do not think about. It's quite advanced. I know I'm going to be incorporating it into our playbook because, man, it's just like it's just pouring a bunch of chum in the water ahead of a holiday, right? Like you want all the sharks swimming around your boat. So there it is. That's my list. It's a good list, I think. Things to be thinking about. Things that often get omitted. Be thinking about attention. Be thinking about how you're going to ramp things up. Summer's ending. The party's over. Q4 is here. We love it. Let's win. So that's that. And I want all of you guys, honestly, to knock Q4 out of the park. I want you to do better than last year. I want you to have the best Q4 ever. For that to happen, we really got to start putting in the work now. So that's it. More to come. On that note, enjoy summer. Thanks for listening. And as always, have a great day.